An Indiana team that has been reeling ever since you and I said we would prioritize their content is back on the priority list. In fact, shout out to Q in the Discord. We're doing an Illinois preview before we do a Michigan preview. That's right. The number one team in the coaches poll will have.
Indiana preview. You can't even get it off your mind.
Who'd I say?
Illinois.
Oh, geez. Yeah, sorry. Gotta earn my love like Illinois did, and then I start name dropping you in other videos. But no, don't worry. The number one team in the coaches poll will have to wait, Cart. Indiana goes to Penn State. This should be a fun one. Indiana's lost two straight. They were down, what, 16-2 to Louisville?
Yeah.
Stinky game. Lost by 9 at the barn. Stinky game. Good news for them. Penn State, stinky team. Stinky brand of basketball from the Nittany Lions. What would be at the top of the scouting report for the 8-1 Penn State Nittany Lions if you are Darren DeVries?
Cade Mingo.
Give me the scout.
I mean, he's at Penn State, and I understand he's kind of lost in the mix, but he's a talented kid, talented freshman. I'm surprised I haven't seen a classic graphic of like this is the only freshman in the country to average 16, 6, and 2 on 37%. You know, that certain percentage that only makes it cut off for him. I can't believe I haven't seen that graphic yet. Penn State's men's basketball page has to see me at some point, but he's just an extremely talented guy. Now, if I am Indiana on that same token there, I'm most susceptible at the rim against really good bigs, right? But at the same time, watching that Indiana and Louisville game, the guards just put so much pressure on Indiana that they couldn't keep their hands to themselves and or stop anybody
Mm-hmm.
anywhere. So I don't know, man. This Indiana team really needs to pick themselves off the mat. This is a really good pick yourself off the mat game. I'll say that. This is probably the worst team in the Big Ten. So if you can't pick yourself off the mat here, then we'll have conversations.
Yeah, you're right. This is a pretty critical moment in Indiana's season. As much as this is a bounce back spot against, well, from the Louisville loss, they also go to Kentucky this weekend. So, like, this is still like a quote unquote look ahead dangerous spot. Card, I would say this is a must win. It's a must win for Darren DeVries. And I don't like saying that early, but when you get gifted Minnesota and Penn State in the first two games of the Big Ten schedule, if you go 0-2 against the two worst teams in the league, what comes next? Not many good things. Like you're back at home. You need a good performance. You've had two straight stinkers. And I do give Indiana a little bit of credit for not completely having the wheels fall off when they got down huge to Louisville. They
Mhm.
battled from that point on. But you can't no show the first 4 minutes of this game. You are at home. You need your guys to show up. And I'm optimistic they will because I don't think Penn State can put up much resistance. But this is about as early as the season as I've ever called something a must-win game. I think that's where we're at for Darren DeVries here. If you want to keep the optimism your fan base believes in you as a coach, you can't start 0-2 with losses to Minnesota and at home to Penn State. Mingo's good. Mingo can't shoot. That's the problem with Caden Mingo. Everything else he does on the court is great. He's averaging 15, 4 and 4 and two steals. Good defender. He is efficient from the floor because he gets the rim at will, and he will challenge the Indiana 2 point defense that grades out really well right now. He shoots three threes a game, makes 20% of them. Just not a shooter. So I would think on paper, as long as Tate and Connerway stays out of foul trouble, he can annoy Dylan Mingo in this game. Do you agree? Or Caden Mingo, excuse me.
Yeah, I love Dylan. Where's Dylan going?
They might have a better chance if it was Dylan Mingo in this game, but
Yeah, truthfully. But yeah, no, I think it's about I think in that Louisville game, the most scariest part of that game was the fact that they lost by that amount while Michael Brown had 9 points and they couldn't stay in front of anybody. I feel like everyone on Indiana had four fouls in that basketball game. Now, Penn State doesn't have the players that I think can put that type of pressure on them. And it also should be a pretty good bounce back spot for DeVries and Wilkerson, who both went like, I know DeVries had 26, but they both went like 5 for 14, 5 for 15 from the field. Those guys need to play better. And it's a lot of pressure on them, but they're not going to win games if those two guys don't play well. Straight up. It's a very, I said it on the recap of the Louisville game that I did. This team has very small margin for error because they play Connor Enright 36 minutes. And, you know, Tane Conaway is good, but he's also inconsistent, as you saw in the Louisville basketball game. So I don't know. You need your stars to star every single night, basically.
Yeah. The Penn State defensively doesn't have guys that I feel can cause much restriction there. Do you agree with
Mhm.
me on that? Like, who are the wing defenders that are going to cause issues here?
Yeah, they don't have one.
I don't see any. So, yeah,
Yeah, can we also not state enough that Penn State's bad?
Penn State's very bad.
Penn
Yeah.
State's very bad. If you cannot beat Penn State, then you at risk of putting myself for when I lose to Penn State, Michigan State later on this season, then you need to have some serious inner dialogue.
Single digit wins for Penn State against Fairfield, Navy, Harvard, Boston University, and then an 11-point win over Campbell. This team is flirted with disaster against some really bad teams. Give them credit for avoiding it, but this could be a team that gets Mike Rhodes fired if the Big Ten takes care of business like we think. What I would say is this: Penn State defensively terrible at rim protection. Teams make 55% of their shots from inside the arc against Penn State. We know Indiana gets three happy. They fall in love with the three, and that's what DeVries wants from this offense. If they overshoot threes in this game and go cold, that is the recipe for Penn State to win.
Right.
Like I need to see Tucker and Lamar get to the rim and finish against a Penn State defense that offers no resistance.
And that should be the first talking point when they bring everybody up for the scout. This team cannot stop you at the rim. Do not fall in love with it. Get to the hoop.
This even should be a Reed Bailey game. Like I would not
Yeah.
be surprised if Reed Bailey has like 20 points in this game.
Yeah.
So just the one thing that scares me is just does Indiana beat themselves falling in love with the three and go cold from three? I think they're better than that, and they might just make the threes, but that's kind of the one thing that could get in the way. Do you have anything else on this before we get to a prediction?
No, I think you're at home, back at assembly, take care of business against a team that's barely on the top 100 in KenPom.
Yeah. Okay. Ken Palm has Indiana by 12 at home. What do you predict?
So I got to bounce back for Indiana here in crazy fashion. I got Indiana by 30 and they make 17 threes.
Yeah, I think this probably is just a get right, hit our shots game. Give me Indiana by 19.
Yeah, what's Connor Enright's career high?
It's a great question. Probably like 11.
Okay, well, I got him with 14.
Very nice.